and welcome to the 2022 bank video. Now, this is going to serve as Ironman progress number 1 in a new progress series that I'll be posting on YouTube. Before we start, if you guys couldn't tell, I've been a bit under the weather. I visited family over Christmas and I had COVID the whole time. So if I sound a little funny, that's why. But let's get right into it here. I'm going to start with the stats. First of all, we're maxed. So no real goals in terms of stats. Maybe I'll go for a 200 mil here or there, but nothing crazy. In this tab is all of the fun stuff, though. 752 million total experience. Quests. So we don't have a quest cape, and that is going to be one of our major goals this year, as well as completing the diaries. We have not done Kandarin. We need to do Barbarian Assault for this one. I've not done Mauritania for whatever reason. I just haven't gotten around to it. I have the stats and everything to do all of these diaries. And then the Lumbrin Draenor I haven't been able to do because of the quest cape. So I've been putting that off forever. So we'll get around to it very soon. Another thing is I finished Grandmaster combat achievements, but since the new ones came out for TOA, I haven't gone around and done Master and Grandmaster, so that's another thing we got to do pretty soon. Another thing we want to do on the account is start filling out the collection log. I'm not going to say I want to complete the collection log because that's literally impossible, but I do want to hit a goal number of like 1,000 or 1,200 collection log slots. Right now, 1,200 is pretty impressive in general. So I think 1,000 is a pretty good goal if I don't want to do all the mini games and fillers. So we'll go for 1,000. Time played. We have 438 days played. So it's a lot. We've had this account since around the time Hardcore Ironman came out. We started as a hardcore. We died to Alchemical Hydra when that was released. Because the whole entire world lagged. The instance basically fell apart and I died. Anyway, let's get into the bank. Fair warning, it's not that organized. I tried my best, but I have a pretty disorganized bank in general. So bear with me. We're going to start with the main tab, which is just all of my runes, graceful, and things I use to get around, including a Draman staff. All my cash, 60 mil so far. Cockle, this is from all my Inferno from doing combat achievements. And then nothing really stands out in terms of runes right now. 1.5 million pure essence, I guess. But I haven't really been focusing on buying or crafting any runes lately. And nor do I really plan to. I just kind of replenish as I need. In terms of teleports, there's nothing really special to point out other than maybe the Gamal's Hilt 6, which I still have from Grandmaster Combat Achievements. 220 glories, which I use to uncharge and recharge at the Fountain of Rune. That is one of my main goals, is the Eternal Glory. Just a bunch of various teleportation jewelry, all my totems and everything, some scrolls I haven't gotten around to yet. Yeah, the first tab is just kind of getting around the game and all my runes. Now this is the juicy tab, so we're going to save that for last. So I'm going to start all the way over here and work my way to the left. So this is the junk tab. It is super disorganized. I haven't put any effort into it, but basically it's all of the retired gear that I have really no use for. Tome of Fire, like some random clue scroll loot, some cosmetic stuff, like incomplete things I can't use, stacks of useless items, etc. It's nothing crazy in here. I mean, holy kits are cool, I guess. The clue scroll rewards. It's just a big old mess. And this is where I just throw things that I don't want to deal with. Like Dragon Limbs and Shaman Mask are my two most recent collection log slots. I just threw them in here because I didn't know really where to put them. And here is my potions tab that is 3 dose or less for the most part. My 4 dose potions I keep in my gear tab, and we'll get to that later, but this is just basically all my 3 dose and less potions so that they're all in one place and I can just grab all of them and decant them when I need to. Next is my pets. So we have 20 pets. We got the Chinchompa, Skodos, Kangaroot, Rift Guardian, Herbie, Giant Squirrel. We have Verzik. I've been trying to get her back just by doing Tob, but no luck yet. Pet Snakeling, Chaos Elemental, Dagonoth Rex, Beaver, Chompy, Sriracha with both of the recolors, Dustin Omelette, which is a really nice pet. I love all of the transmogs. Kraken, which was actually my first Slayer pet I ever got. And I had like 12,000 Slayer boss kills before I got my first Slayer pet. Rock Golem, my most recent skilling pet. I got it a few months ago. And then these last 4 I got all within 3 weeks. So we got Callisto Cub shortly after Venion Jr. And then we got an Abyssal Orphan and the Hydra pet. So these are all my pets. One cool thing is we are 6 out of 8 skilling pets. I only need the Heron and Rocky, and we will definitely be going for those so that we complete all the skilling pets. Next tab is my farming / bird run tab. This is where I go if I want to do a farm run or bird run, and it just pretty much has everything I need. There's nothing crazy in here other than maybe some stacks of herb seeds, over 200 snapdragons right now. 400 plus torstal seeds, Catentine and Quarms, 1,000 limpwort seeds, which is pretty nice, but I got to get around to doing those. And other than that, nothing too insane in here, just like a basic tab for convenience. Next tab is my clue scroll miscellaneous tab, I guess. So I just keep all the stuff in here from clue scrolls or things I need to complete clue scrolls. Things I don't want to build a stash unit for or what have you. Also, a bit lower down is the first juicy thing you're going to see in the video, which is all of my stacked up clues and keys. We'll start here, 31 masters, 77 hard clues, 18 mediums, 41 easies, and 11 beginners. We're not doing elite clues until I get the Bloodhound pet, so I'm putting all of my elites into masters. And we also have a lot of keys. We have 141 brimstone keys, which will be opened in the next video, 88 Laren's keys, and some crystal keys as well. I need to get more crystal shards to turn these into enhanced. But basically the plan with this tab is anytime a stack hits 100 or more, I'm going to open it up and use that as part of the progression series. As you can see, we've already gotten a few really cool items. I do want to complete the Slayer and Miscellaneous tab in the collection log, so this is a great start to that. We also have a lot of God eggs, so in the next video, you're going to see God eggs being opened and Brimstone Key. The rest of this tab is nothing special. Now, the next tab is more of like the ALK tab / items that are cool, but I don't really use to PVM with. So we've got full Justy. Tob is complete, by the way. Didn't see the scythe right there. Bryophyta staff. Here you can see a few amulets of avarice. I've actually gotten 6 of these things. The ancient crystals also, I still need to build this in my POH. Some various Slayer / Zulrah loot, some Barrows gear, and then here we get into the dragon. We have 9 dragon chain bodies. Just some dragon ammunition that hasn't been made yet. All my granite stuff. Rune, I just need to get around to selling it to Martin's Weight. I kind of let it pile up and then sell it all at once. Not all at once, but like 5 at a time in Hop World. Adamant, Mithril, etc. Now with the Mystics, I actually have a plan. When I go back to Revs, I'm going to be using this to freeze So I'm stacking these up currently so that I don't have to buy them. A bunch of battle staves. Now I don't do the diary thing where you buy 120 a day, just because I feel like I get enough from PVM to kind of counteract how many orbs I get. Uh, Although I could do that and be getting like 2k per orb I charge, but I don't really go out of my way to charge air orbs, so don't buy battle staffs. In the long run, I might start doing it, but I haven't bothered in a long time. Dragonhide stuff, nothing crazy. I've alked a lot of stuff recently. 2,000 onyx bolts right now. That's been a little backed up. Now here's some jewelry that I need to get around to alking or selling as well. And these stacks will actually grow a lot before I do that. You'll see in the next tab all the gems I have to process. Next is some Revenant totems that I haven't turned in yet. About 20 mil worth, I think, 25 mil. So there's some cash just sitting there waiting. I've got my 3 blessed spirit shields waiting for sigils, all the heads you could possibly want, and a few extra drops that I've gotten recently. Next tab is the supply tab. Now I've recently cleaned this out and made a bunch of potions, smithed a bunch of bars and made it into alkables, but there's still some decent stacks of stuff in here. I mean, this is all the herbs I have right now. I still need to turn them into unfinished potions. I'm a bit short on some of the secondaries, so I've been a little bit behind on that, especially Mortmire fungus, because we haven't done the Mauritania diary. So I've been putting this one off for a while. I actually have enough amylase to probably finish this off and make it all stamina potions. Can imagine how many that would be. Almost 10,000 3-dosers. Super combat ingredients. Next is gems. Not spoil anything before I talk about it. Gems, I've recently just cut all of these gems, so we've got a lot of work to do if I ever want to get around to crafting them. These are probably going to turn into necklaces for court. Rubies and diamonds will probably turn into bracelets and amulets to alk, and then these will probably be alked as well. Dragon hides, I recently did a clean out on. Now, ores and bars, we have quite a few, but not a lot. We haven't really touched the mithril in a while. What I've done in the past is I've sold mithril to the Takul shop and bought onyx bolt tips with it. But maybe in the future we'll start smithing bars instead. I'm not sure yet. 62,000 gold, so we gotta get around to smelting that up. And then all of this iron I want to turn into steel bars and then eventually cannonballs, because there is a lot of content I haven't done that needs a lot of cannonballs. So that is coming in the near future. Basically, this is just raw food, banked cooking XP. Here's some extra bird nests. I don't think I showed up here, but I have 2,600 crushed ones and over 3,500 regular ones. So a lot of bird nests are backed up. So I need to start farming some toad flax. Here's all my planks. There's nothing crazy here, but I do have a lot of logs. I have not really had any motivation to do any sort of construction since getting 99, but I do need to complete the mahogany homes log. So there is that. Flax, all from Zora. All these bones I've just been piling up. I have a method I like to do that I might share in the future to get rid of some of these bones. I don't really like doing the chaos altar, so I'll show you that. I'll show that to you guys eventually. But we have a lot of prayer XP banked right now. Not that it really matters since I'm 99. A lot of crafting XP banked up as well. I don't have any giant seaweed because I just don't do the runs. But if I eventually want to do crafting for whatever reason, we got a lot of buckets of sand to go around. And then the rest of the tab is just some random stuff. Okay, we're almost there. This is the second to last tab. This is more of like a tool tab. Just various tools and outfits for skilling. I don't keep them in my POH because if they're in my POH, I'll never go and get them. I would get without the outfit or mine fish without the outfits. And when I get a clue scroll, I don't want to go into my house to get the outfit out. So I have all the dragon things and also one crystal tool seed. And I use that on the pickaxe, of course. I believe that's the most useful thing to do. And other than that, there's some stacks of various stuff. Crystal shards is something I need to replenish. As you saw earlier, there's over 50 crystal keys I need to enhance. So I've got some thieving to do, but that's okay because I still need Rocky. I've recently started Sepulcher, and I made an oopsie on this one and bought two of them. We have a lot of granite dust, 26,000, a lot of ecumenical key shards, which I've been using for Armadil. Here's our marks of grace, over 3,000 of them. So we will be turning a lot of those into stamina potions in the near future. And the rest, I believe, is just stacks of random stuff that I may or may not ever use. But this is a nice place to have them. If it's a tool related, I know where they are. Lockpicks and axes, dodgy necklaces, tackle box, and all that stuff. And at the bottom here, you can see these are all the Charlie the Tramp items. Now, there's been an update where you can just give him the item instead of having to make it or fish it or cook it or whatever. You can just give him the item now and it completes this step, which is really nice. And we'll be doing a lot more beginners in the future because I want that log filled out. Last but not least, the gear tab. Now, to pre-frame this, I've completed almost every boss in the game, so most of this stuff is done. But I want to highlight the things I've gotten in the last year, and then I also want to highlight what my goals are for 2023. So without further ado, here's the gear tab. We have Full Torva, which has been received this year, because next just came out in January. But we have max melee, we have that scythe, all the Cerberus boots, all of the mega rares, and we'll get to those in a second. We recently got the light bearer ring as well. Now we had the Zuck helm, but I settled for just having the elites for now. I actually have the Zuck helm placeholder down here somewhere. There it is. Yeah. We have kind of maxed range. We have the twisted bow, which we got about 2 years ago now, and the scythe was shortly after. We got the Masori body recently, but we still need the hood and the chaps. That's it. That's all I need for TOA. In terms of mage gear, we're missing the ancestral top, which has been a meme in my stream for the longest time. But we have gotten the shadow, which makes it even more vital to get this taken care of because it's literally 8% damage in TOA that I'm missing out on. So one of the first goals of this series is going to be to get that ancestral top. Now you'll notice I also don't have Zerite Van Braces. So the goal here is to get the ancestral top, go to TOA with max mage, get max range, which is going to be the Masori. And then with the Masori, we're going to do small team next to get the Zerite Van Braces. And those are the 4 big items that I need to do this year. Now, the rest of this tab is just all of the random, maybe not so random, but all the PVM items we've gotten over time. These are the things that I actually use. We've gotten 2 DHCBs this year. We had one before, but now we have all 3 colors. We are missing also a Kodai from Cox, but I don't really need it because I have the Eldritch. So all the Kodai really does now is saves runes. But since the rune pouch now holds 4 runes, I can hold Blood Barrage and Ice Barrage in it, so it doesn't really make a huge difference. Two imbued hearts. So that's one thing that is kind of cool, but I don't have an eternal gem. So that is one of my goals for this year as well. I don't have Inquisitor Hauberk or whatever the plate skirt is. Is it? I think it's just plate skirt, but I don't think I plan on getting them. It's not really on the list, I guess. I also don't have a harmonized orb or a volatile. Those pieces of gear for how many hours it takes to get them, it's just not worth it for me. I've also gotten full crystal and Bofa minus the helmet this year. Everything else down here is kind of just random niche stuff that I hardly ever touch, if I touch them at all. But I have completed basically every PVM thing in the game except for what I just talked about. Face guard, trident. Now all this stuff down at the bottom here, it looks like a mess, but it's just the stuff I use for things like Revenant's Wilderness Slayer, Vedion, things like that, I wish it was more organized in here, but it's just not. Okay, now last thing I want to do is go through the seed vault and also the collection log a little bit, just to show you guys what my goals are here. But this is my seed vault. I keep most of the important seeds in my bank, but these are like the more valuable seeds, I guess. So I've got like over 200 magic, 200 U, 200 palm, etc. Like I said, the important herb seeds are in my bank already. But as you can see, I have a lot more that I could do if I wanted to. 20 redwoods, and that's about it. Nothing crazy in here. Just a lot of the high tiered seeds. Lastly, let's go through the collection log and see what the goals are basically. So long term goals are I want to complete the Miscellaneous and Slayer collection logs. So these are going to be themes in the future videos a lot. So everything I do is just based around getting Evil Chicken, Dragonstone, Dagon High, and Dusk Mystic. That's basically all I'm doing. if what I'm doing doesn't involve getting those things, it's probably just like a really quick side thing that I need, or it's a end game PVM upgrade. Everything I'm gonna do revolves around those things for now, and revolves around getting these collection logs completed. I'm missing the Eternal Gem, all the Fossil Island Wyvern stuff, as well as a Broken Hosta and a Dragon Sword. So I'm missing hardly anything except for these outfits. Another thing I want to complete is the skilling pets. Like I said, just missing 2. And what's great about missing Rocky is I can literally camp elves and get tons of crystal shards, and then also Vires for blood shards, and not feel like I'm wasting my time. I'm actually going for the Rocky Pet too. Some other things are just the bosses. I am only missing the pet and or the jar for most of these things. So Hydra, I'm just missing the jar. Missing only a few Barrows items. Missing Callisto Ring, Cerberus Pet, Chaos Fanatic I can complete really quick. Corp is one of the things that I do need to focus more on, but it is so time consuming that I can literally be doing it for 100 hours and like barely hit the drop rate for a sigil. So this log is something that might remain empty for a while. I do want to get the arcane eventually, bare minimum, just because of the new ward. Other than that, I just have pets, like just pets. And I do want to get as many of these pets as I can, but I also want to keep in mind my other goals in the collection log while I'm doing that. So another big thing is going to be clue scrolls. So any pet that is also going to give me clue scrolls is going to be top priority. So those are the things I want to do first. Like Sarachnis, I'm missing the jar, but it's also going to give me a ton of clues, help me with getting my goal of 1,000 collection log slots. Vorkath is another one. It gives a lot of elite clues, but I'm only missing the pet. Zulrah, I'm missing the mutagens, unfortunately. I've gotten the jar, but it was before the log. Now, but this boss gives an elite clue every couple hours, basically. With the Shadow and T-Bow, like this thing just melts. I can do almost, I think, 38 kills an hour, and the rate is 1 in 75 for an elite clue. So literally 2 hours and I'll have one. But I can also be going for these collection log slots at the same time. So anything that overlaps, I'm going to be prioritizing. One other thing I've been doing is Mithril Dragons, because the Dragon Full Helm, it's going to take forever. But you're also getting log slots from my notes done when you're killing Mithril Dragons, and you're also getting hard and elite clues. So anything like that is going to be top priority. The goals, just to recap, it's going to be Ancestral Top, and in this order too: Ancestral Top, Masori, Mask, and Chaps, followed by, let's get to the next log, Zerite, Van Braces. Other than that, all of the content that I'm going to put out is going to be geared towards finishing the Miscellaneous and Slayer logs, and also getting as many slots from clue scrolls as possible. Now, obviously, we're not going to be going for any of this stuff. It'd be nice to get a third age piece or two, but that is not the goal of this series. The goal of this series is to get all the endgame PVM gear and get 1,000 collection log slots. All right, that will wrap up the bank video for 2022. If you guys liked the video, please give it a like. Drop any comments you feel like talking about down below. Also, subscribe to the channel if you want to see the progress of this account. In the next video, we're going to be going for some collection log slots. We're going to open some brimstone keys, open up some eggs. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good week, and we'll see you in the next one.